Hello, Nature Infused Ash here, foraging with the consciousness, Bigfoot. Hello, Maynard. Nice to see you here. I did receive that comment about one of my shorts. I don't know. It's what happens when I talk about quantum and things that aren't supposed to come to light, is what I find knocks me out of the algorithm. So, is what it is, and we'll just keep speaking truth and increasing and commanding our miracle frequency to enter and raise, our vibration, awakening humanity alongside Sabe. So, all right. So today, I guess I wanted to touch base more on how nature is the physical reality for the quantum realm, which is why we can have more interactions when we're out in certain areas, how we can strengthen our connection to end up in different realities. And yes, we're in a physical. Okay, there might be a train coming, so if it gets loud, I apologize. But yeah, nature is the quantum realm. And I was having that conversation with some lady friends today, which we will be going to explore. I will call it where I've been having interactions with Sasquatch all along, right? So I will be taking myself and other ladies pretty much this whole summer into that area, and we're really going to attract them in and see what we can get in to our area of presence. And also, I've been discovering that the mine that's close to where Sabe is so they mine it, and it's like a type of quartz mineral type of thing that they use for a certain kind of medicine, right? So I really want to start to connect with that even more, and maybe grab some of it and bring it back into this reality so we can use it more in our daily lives, right? Maynard, I found a large chunk of chaga this spring, about the size of a medium bone, in half. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, chaga is out of this world when you find it. I remember finding, it must have been like a piece like that, and I left half of it on the tree, and I touched it, and when it was in my hand, I swear I could feel like the energy, like the quantum space of how long that crows, they haven't been here all day, and then they like to play in the tree above me. And I just remember feeling and seeing like just lifetimes, because it takes a while for the chaga to grow into like a big piece. Like, it's been there for a very long time, and then for it to grow on that type of birch, it's definitely the minerals and stuff in that birch are just higher than the other birches, because you don't find them on all birches. They're like in between certain stages of life too, right? Anyways, off track. And yeah, nice, right? It's sustainable harvesting when we leave a good part of it for others. Well, and it's for it to continue to grow, right? Because it takes years and years and years and years for it to grow to such a huge piece of wonderfulness. Hello, Kirsty. All good. You missed last week. All good. Embrace the journey. The birds are happy you are there. They are singing for you. Yes, it's true. But yeah, they're just coming to join the coherence of awakening with humanity alongside nature. Because again, like I was talking with a friend, and I might have to move inside because that is a very dark cloud. Anyways, she's like, we can do so much when we're in groups in meditation, when we're in reality, like I call reality like civilization. So when we're in buildings and or barns or however, we can create a coherence and lift our vibration that way. But spirit and nature and Sabe still ask for us to go and connect with the like nature, because it is the quantum realm. Understanding nature is going to help us understand ourselves better. It'll help us understand the nature of things, which then we can bring that into our own lives. And then we can just help build it up. It'll build us up, we'll build nature up. It's that back and forth, right? Don't forget to hit that like button. I don't like doing that, but it'll just help with the algorithm, since they don't want me appearing in certain locations. But how can we cultivate a relationship with nature? I'd love to know how you embrace the journey, cultivate a relationship with nature. Maynard, how do you, I mean, I have an idea, but how do you cultivate a relationship with nature? I mean, if you saw my dandelion video, that right there. See, so we got some dandelion greens right here. Cultivating, building that. And so then the land will then feel my energetics. I'll feel the land's energetics, and there's that energy exchange, right? So I'm cultivating that relationship with nature. You know, chaga tea, my chaga reishi burdock blend that I was doing the other day. This is chamomile, passion flower, and some other lavender, some other things. I was sitting down by my gifting stump today, and a small dragonfly landed on my hand and just looked at me for a good couple minutes. Yeah, dragonflies are amazing, aren't they? They're an energy in themselves. Yeah, I love. They definitely come with a lot of messages when they appear in my life, and I love it for sure. It's pretty amazing. But another thing, so cultivating a relationship with nature when well, am I ever out of nature? No, I'm always connecting. Like, I have bare feet right now. I'm always grounding, touching the trees, smelling them, talking to them. You know, I have my essential oils, like and again, you have to make sure you're sustainably harvesting these items. And I always will, you know, make sure I know where they're coming from. So black spruce is supposed to be like one of the highest frequencies of trees. I mean, again, I have birch, I have pine. Pine, again, is the third eye, right? Open up that third eye. Been doing a lot of Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditations and rewiring the brain and really engaging that energy up to the pineal and activating those crystals in the pineal gland. It's amazing what I've started to experience and the things that I'm attracting into my life, that ebb and flow. So embrace the journey. We will often take walks through the forest. Amazing. We touch the trees and share our energies with each other. We refer to our walks as taking nature baths. Right? Exactly. Like always infusing nature. Like infuse it. I love infusing nature baths, you know, therapy. I'll call it nature therapy. That's my, you know, church, however you guys want to call it, but I love that. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing. Embrace the journey. Maynard, sometimes I just go to the gifting spot and talk in my mind with directed thoughts towards images of Sasquatch I've seen. See, and that's again like Jane talking to one of my friends that we're going to start to help cultivate that relationship being here, and as we move out to the wilderness and cultivate and call upon Jane, but then the other aspects and other Sabes that are there interacting with myself and those other ladies, because as much as I want to kind of sometimes close my heart because of what's going on in my life right now with people, you know, how I've gotten onto the Bigfoot trail, and but again, they're like, you were led there for a reason, and you've had to learn and grow through certain abilities and stepping into that power and really owning what Sabe asks of me with humanity. And again, it's just about really connecting humanity and awakening them through nature. And you know, it's not just Sabe. There's elementals, there's devas, there's, you know, look at the dragons, and you know, the mountains, they do look like pyramids, and who knows what's in them. And the last trip we came out, everything was like, look under the ground, and I've always looked, I don't want to look under the ground because there's, well, let's just say there could be lizards, and that's how I thought. But now I'm starting to go, right, we're not, I get it, you know, because there's gold that can be under, there's hot spots that can be under. Look at Atlantis went under, you know, there's certain things and realms, and that's just getting a little out there, but wrap it all back into what I've experienced. I can't put up a blind spot to that. It's open. Anyways, hello, Keith. Maynard, I watch the birds a lot, and sometimes I tell them how pretty they are or their whistles. And yeah, absolutely. I do the same thing. Birds are amazing. I love the sounds and just their energy. Especially chickadees, they are one of my all-time favorites. They're just so joyful, and they're always making such spectacular sounds. I'm not just like, that's just a high vibrational bird for myself, and I just really love them. And then like the wren, when I was up in northern Alberta, when I lived up there, the wren would always come and nest on the porch. Like, it's just amazing. They make some beautiful sounds too. Maynard, sometimes they turn and just look right at me. Right? That's cool. That is so cool. What we can learn from nature when we stay open. And again, the spiritual realm is our heart center, and our emotional realm is our sacral center. So again, it's psychological, mental, emotional, physical body. That's a lot of stuff I'm learning as well with those different realms. There's just so much, and again, sometimes it's hard for me to just funnel it in to all one place to be able to share, because it's like a blueprint of so many different teachings, learnings, ways we can express and cultivate that relationship. Again, cultivating a relationship, we can honor the wood. Like, I'll use deadfall and stuff for my fires. I'll never chop down anything live. And using the water, like the flowing river, for the feminine energy, the earth for anchoring, for the masculine, you know, the sun, like everything represents something, and it's just using those abilities to cultivate that relationship with nature, to help us cultivate that relationship with Sabe even stronger. So it's strengthening our connection and strengthening our interactions with Sabe. Boom. Yeah. What else? I don't know. It's a long weekend. I was going to go out, but plans have changed. And possibly next weekend, me and a girlfriend will go out to, we'll just call it the research site because I can't call it anything else, and see what we can align with and cultivate with that experience. Maynard, I have a spot where I walk to, and the chickadees just swarm you. I posted a video on my channel of it. I couldn't get the birds on camera, but you can hear the flock that surrounded me. Cool. I will definitely check that out. But yeah, been doing a lot of ice bathing again, really strengthening that connection, and saunas and stuff, bringing that back in and really strengthening up the connection. it's like I'm missing something. It's just I'm watching this cloud creep in, and it's like, okay, it's getting pretty dark. We took in the northern lights. Oh, they amazed us. Talk about energy. Yikes. That was a plasma blast. That was absolutely, like, I didn't get to see it firsthand. I saw a lot of photos and what, like, all over the world. And again, that Joe Dispenza was talking about it today. That's what will happen when there are solar flares. And we all know solar flares have been coming in. What's that helping? It's helping our DNA upgrade. It's helping, like, all the cellular stuff activate within us. And yeah, sorry. And just that's why they say they want to block the sun, is because they don't want us to be able to receive what's happening with the sun. And those solar flares that were happening, I saw images, like, it's mind-blowing, and so many all at once. I mean, no wonder people are all over the place. And if you don't really know what's going on, I mean, we can't allow that to define who we are. We all can choose to create whatever reality we step into. I mean, that's continuous. It's how we're going to show up, set our intentions, and move forward. I have, a lot of people will try to talk about things that I just I don't want to hear about it. It's not in my reality. I don't really experience it. I acknowledge that it might be happening in other people's, and there is, things that are not so good going on. And I don't go, oh, that's not going on. I go, yep, that's going on. And I really don't want to be a part of that. And I want to help elevate humanity so we can get out of that timeline. What I've seen with AI that's coming about, like, it's just, that's all I can say with that. Like, it's getting ridiculous, and it has to collapse, I would think, anytime. We're all going to be shooken off this planet. Kirsty, there's so much to learn. I'm working on opening my pineal gland. It's amazing that we can learn. I saw the aurora, okay, whatever, the northern lights. Yep, it was absolutely magical. Cool. But anyways, opening up the pineal gland, a good breath work that I've been doing to really activate those crystals within the pineal gland, Kirsty, is when we inhale, we want to pull in our Mula Bandha. So we're going to, like, because at the bottom of our spine, there's a little sacrum, and there's this kind of like a triangle. So we want to send our breath, but see, the challenging thing is when we inhale, we want to follow our breath, but squeeze the perineum, so that's the pelvic floor, and we squeeze it all the way up, and you can start to feel the breath go up. See, as I do that, so I can feel the energy, and then up into here, and then it'll go up into the pineal gland, and it'll start to activate the crystals. And when you know that you've been doing it, it's kind of like you'll have this funnel come in, like a consciousness of light come in to the body. You can call it awakening your kundalini. There are different forms, but just to keep it simple and relevant for everyone to understand is, inhale. But as you're inhaling, you're pulling it up, pulling that energy up and activating. And hold at the top for as long as you can. I mean, sometimes you feel like, holy cow, like you get dizzy. I describe it as, it feels like you're high, because like you get all like, ooh, dizzy and stuff. But that's because you're really moving the energy. It's not because you're having a bad experience. Some people find it very uncomfortable. I don't mind the feeling now that I've understood and I've been doing it for a while, that it's just energy and it's really activating, because we don't want to be a magnet that's not attractive, right? So a lot of people in our reality are just a magnet with no spark, right? They're just matter, really. And we want to activate our magnetism, our magnet, by doing the breath work and activating the pineal gland, and then it'll help expand our energy, even bringing in the universal source, whatever, the Christ consciousness light within. You can feel that energy, and once you start playing with it more, you get used to it. Like, even like you open up your palm chakras, you can start to go like this, like I can feel the heat between, and you can start to move the the energy, right? So there's just different ways that we can embrace, and we don't always have to take supplements, you guys. Like, our body wants us to keep it simple, keep it simple, keep it simple. Clean water, absolutely. Nature, that's your go-to. Right, for opening up, all connecting, grounding. You don't need to buy, like, people think, oh, I need this to be able to do this, I need this to be, no, you don't. You can do it all, you guys. So embrace the journey. AI is one thing, but DNA manipulation is something to really be concerned about. I'm with you, Ash. I know it's happening and coming, but I'd rather not deal with it, right? Yep. Energy is moving you, not the other way around. Right, but we have to move the energy to be able to move the matter. So, again, a lot of people don't have energy because they don't even know how. They're so dense. And I've seen it by interacting with certain people. And some people are AI and some people don't have souls. We do live in this, like, there are entities, there are dark things, there are things that, you would think that aren't even out there. But it's true. They're out there and we live in that. We can't. And we all have that energy. And yes, okay, we are all energy. But there can be some really dense energies, and okay, I'm just gonna let that go. Because, yeah. And just like, the spiritual woo one, we are all one. Well, no, we're all interconnected, but we all have that one energy inside of us, right? So can we activate that energy? Let's activate it, move it. 'Cause a lot of people don't move it. They'll go to McDonald's and eat and then go sit on the couch. Like, there's no energy in that body. Let alone, is there even a soul in that body? Because I don't know, like, non-player characters or non-character player, whatever that MVP, I don't know. I see that to be true in some places. And again, when Roxanne and I were out, that lady, it's like, was an AI. It was like a RoboCop, I tell you, like, very odd stuff. And again, if we're higher consciousness beings than other beings, we're not gonna, it's hard, it can be all over the place, so whatever. Because being that light it can help you be more susceptible to people that we don't want to engage with. And being myself, I allow or turn blinders on and going, that person's not really like that. Nope, they're not really doing that. But it's like, Ashley, yes, they are. And can you allow them to now remove themselves from your life? Bye-bye, see you later. So what are you not supposed to know is we are what we believe we are. Well, yeah, exactly. It's like rewiring the brain. I can't, that's exactly our. We are what we believe we are. We are what we know we are. And keep moving forward, right? For sure. But I mean, yeah, whatever. I guess that can give me a lot of confusion. There are people that are narcissists and covert narcissists, and people that perceive to be things that they really aren't. And what are they behind closed doors and stuff, and what kind of people do you attract into your life is what type of person that you're projecting and reflecting, and just certain things. I guess if we're in a matrix and we're all just reflections of each other, then I don't know. But anyways, that could just be so many places that we're not going. We're awakening humanity alongside Bigfoot and really strengthening that connection. So we'll just see what happens this summer while we're out. Would love to hear your guys' stories on how you're connecting with Sabe and the crows. Hi, Julie. Welcome. Nice to see you. But yeah. Oh, getting so quiet, you guys. See, as the storm moves in, everything quiets. Energy just stops. So, what else? What else did we discuss? Gotta run. Good seeing you, Ash. Having a fantastic evening. You have a fantastic evening as well. Embrace the journey. Thanks for joining us. Um, but yeah, anywho, tried the tea recipe, Julie. How did you like it? I did place it in the comments. I hope I did. When you asked for it, the chaga, reishi, burdock, dandelion. Um, yes, that'll all it will be just with girls, other than the odd, maybe male counterpart that we bring out. Fighting a colon, it worked. Awesome. Was definitely good at building up the immune system and all of that kind of stuff, right? So that's awesome. I had a dream the other night about being run at and grabbed, pinned down by a 6-foot being and a 3-foot being. I couldn't move and it was hard to breathe. Well, that's a message, and that's different because if dream time is definitely a time that leaves us more susceptible because we're going into the energy realms. I really ask for my spirit, and I've had to say a lot of we'll just call them prayers, just so I can protect myself from what's happening energetically with certain things, and just knowing that we can, like you said, we believe what we are, whatever you said, Maynard. So it's like, okay, well, when we go to bed, because we are unplugging from our physical bodies and turning absolutely into energy, so making sure that we're protecting our body with that type of energy and allowing, maybe however you see fit. I don't know. Just my feedback. I thought in my mind that I was a big, large, hairy beast and threw them back off me, and I got bigger. See, there you go. So then, were you a Sasquatch in a different lifetime? Or were you, are you in human form and you were just going back to your Sasquatch times, and, it was a lesson and I share of knowledge of by the Watchers. Yeah, see, interesting. Hello, Crow. Yes, there's a lot of spiritual activity. Find your inner peace and love, right? Sabe likes to appear in crow form when Ashley is receiving messages. And now there's 2 of them. And there hasn't been 2 of them since the last time I did my show, which was last Thursday. The Raven medicine, crow medicine. That's what I was supposed to do today. Whoops. That was my message right there. I was supposed to go for a journey of Raven medicine. But, right, we command that miracle frequency. Inner peace and inner love. Anywho, I would love to hear your guys' perspectives on the Raven medicine. How do they show up for you, and what do you perceive your messages are from the crow raven? When I look at what people say, it was very interesting because it was like, Ashley, you're not learning your lesson and we need to protect you. And I learned my lesson, and then they backed off. So it was extremely interesting to watch. He's definitely talking to you. Yeah. So anyone speak crow, let me know what they're saying, because I'm really trying to strengthen that. And I find my mom has a better connection with birds than I do. I have been seeing a lot of ravens and greeting them. Awesome. Just learned where knowledge is shared. Lots of dreams that you wake immediately from and can't forget it. Is knowledge shared? Absolutely. And see, sometimes I woke up and they literally, Sabe said, write it down. And I didn't, because I didn't have paper and pen. And I'm like, oh, I'll remember that. Nope. I didn't. And it was like, And that's one thing I guess I need to really bring a journal wherever I go, because information comes and downloads come, and I'll be like, oh yeah. She's like, I was talking to my friend and we were talking about something about Sasquatch, and they totally were giving me a download, and I'm like, okay, okay, yep, I'll continue to show up as that conduit that you've asked me to show up as, and stop doubting it and open my heart to it for sure. Because, yep, just learned where the knowledge cake got that. Dream journal, yep. Normal dreams you wake from and can't remember are normal dreams. Yeah. Knowledge shared dreams are ones you remember forever. A dream journal is a good idea. Hello, crept out. I'm doing well. Spectacular. Like, really, really good, really good. How are you doing, crept out? Ahmed, can you stand and do a 360? No, thank you. I cannot stand and do a 360. I can give you a 360 of the tree. Anyways, what else? What else can we align to this evening? Hearing a lot of the tree energy. That's a lot. A lot of the trees are talking to me, and I really need to get out to the deep, vast forest. Thank you, Kirsty, for taking care of that. And yeah, the pine pollen's starting to come out, or like the spruce tips, so that's going to be good to collect and use as a beverage. I like to collect. So none. We're so behind this year in tips. Anyways, the tips will start to come out, and what I'll do. So I like to go to the wilderness and really connect with the land and grab the tips, infuse them in jojoba or jojoba oil, and put that as a face oil, because then it's full of that tree. And again, I'm infusing nature into my skin, because our skin is our biggest organ. I like to take them as teas. Pine pollen is nice to, I find, only do it in the spring. It's good for men and their testosterone. I know a lot of men have had a lot of success with their levels of testosterone when taking pine pollen. Pine pollen is opening up the pineal gland. If you look, like last year when I saw the drone go up and I saw the tops of the trees, it literally looked like a third eye, like the pineal gland. Now, I don't have any pine cones. Of course, it's where, and they're not pine cones. So, well, they're like more like spruce cones. But that's like the pine pollen for real. Yes, pine pollen, yeah, it is really good at helping with testosterone. We are just now in Maine starting to leaf out. Yeah, see, we're just starting to leaf out as well. They're just starting to turn green. Well, as you could see in my live picture at the beginning, just starting. And well, I guess it's last year, I guess, was early. It's only the end of May. Technically, May long is our snow weekend, so maybe this is what's blowing in is our snowstorm. Please no. Sydney, perhaps the ravens are wondering if you have a message or you have received one. Yes. They were here to give me a message, and then once they seem, and then it's like they receive it and take it back to their higher being. As I find Sabe, when I'm connecting with all the people in the Sabe community, Bigfoot, it's just a message they're relaying back and forth. Or, they're not going to come appear in physical form right now, so can they use the eyes of the raven, crow? Absolutely. Just like they do with the deer in the fall with me. So, I don't know. Working on strengthening that connection so I can hear all. Okay, question, where can I get some pine pollen? You said it helps open the pineal gland. Your local health food store? I don't know. I'm not sure where you're located, so I wouldn't know. It's going to be more of a medicinal, it's like a herb, right? So, uh, I'm not going to say Amazon because I don't, New York, Harlem. So, I don't know. There's, what's it called, you guys? um, no, not Trader Joe. Wholesale, not wholesale. You guys have something down there that we don't have in Canada. I don't remember what it's called. You can get it online at different websites. Go to there's David Wolf. He has a lot of those types of supplements. David Avocado Wolf, called the Woods. Well, yeah, you can go to the woods if you have them, and make sure you're actually engaging with a pine tree. So I don't know what. Well, if you're in New York, they have Whole Foods. Thank you, Craft Out. Yes, go to Whole Foods. They should have it, and if not, they should be able to point you in the direction that would you could find it. How long would you soak it in the oil, or would you leave it in there? I left it in there, and I think I left it in there for at least a year. So did I do it last year or the year before when I made my oil? I do it. Again, it's going to be the smell. How fresh do you want it to smell? I did it at least for a year. Just make sure that like it's staying covered with the oil. If the oil is getting too like if the oil starts to not what am I trying to say, you guys? Holy cow. So if the pine or the tips start to show, that can create mold. So you want to make sure they're always covered, because that will just, we want it to stay infused. So keeping the oil up above the whatever, the tips. And once it gets lower, I would just pull them out. That's what I did, was pull them out and allow them to just drip into my hand. Or you can use a 7, all that kind of fun stuff. It's quite simple if you go that way. But 6 months, it could be a couple weeks, 7 days. You know, that's sufficient. But I don't know. I like having stuff in. So again, do it for 2 weeks, see how it is. Make sure you're always tossing and turning the jar. Keep it out of sunlight. So we're going to give the recipe. It's starting to rain. I'm going to have to go, but making sure that you're tipping it upside down each day as you do it, and allow it to sit for a week or two, and then start to use it. And go ahead and take the tips out if you prefer. But yeah, anyways, thank you for showing up, you guys. I've got to go. It's starting to rain and I have to clean up. So take care, blessings, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for being here. Oh.